We're here to celebrate a very special occasion for us, millennials, cinephiles. I think most of us remember where we were when we saw it, but
yeah,
we are upon the 20th anniversary of, I'd say, one of the big event films of our generation, and that is Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
Ooh, God
Hell
damn.
yeah.
This was the closing out for the Star Wars prequel trilogy that launched in 1999. This was highly anticipated for decades after Return of the Jedi released in theaters. And George Lucas, for better or worse, he stood by his word. He made, wrote, directed all three of the prequel films. And when it came out in 2005, it came out to, I'd say, solid,
middling reviews.
Critical reception. I think by middling reviews. I think by the time Revenge of the Sith originally released in theaters, it was kind of like, okay, some of the mystique with Star Wars is kind of gone. There's the realization that, okay, a lot of the success of the original trilogy was owed to a lot of the co-writers that Lucas brought on. Mm-hmm. However, this movie, I think where it improves over the previous two prequels is it's a much more tightly paced film. It moves so quick because so much goes on in just the first opening act of this movie, and you have so much story to get through. And this is, by many accounts, the best film in the prequel trilogy. Guys,
easily,
talk about it. Where were you when you first saw Revenge of the Sith, and what were some of your thoughts when you first watched it?
Should I start it off? Because I'm the old guy.
Yeah, bring it.
I was there. No,
I'm doing it.
Dude, I remember being a young lad seeing this in the theater with my dad.
Yeah, I was there. I remember because it was like Memorial Day weekend. My dad and my uncle went to go see The Longest Yard remake, which also turns 20. And I went to the theater. I think it's the first time I went to a theater by myself to see Revenge of the Sith, and that was like the first time, because I remember seeing Attack of the Clones and Phantom briefly, but this was like the first time Star Wars, because I'm like 12, 13, so this is probably like the first Star Wars movie that was like my foundation, and I was blown away. I'm still blown away. Like, it was such a big formative part of my life as a kid, because like even when I got the DVD, I just wore it out. I just 2-disc DVD, mind you, and I wore them both out. And then behind the scenes commentary, I'm like, how the fuck did they make the lava look so real? And the soundtrack, this was like the first Star Wars movie that enveloped my life in a way, because I had all the Phantom Menace toys, and Attack of the Clones was fun because Yoda bounced around, but that didn't really stick to my brain. But this one was like, you're invested in the story, and like Battlefront 2 was happening at the time, so like synergy, nothing like that good Lucasfilm capitalism tie-in. All the kids were running around with lightsabers. It was just a mania. Like, I remember like walking to school, and the lines for the movie would be around the block. People dressed up. It was California, so that was just like a freak show thing. But that was like the first time I was like, oh, movies are like an event. So it's still, and I think it's just because it's still resonant and politically and culturally, and it's also really fucking funny. That's why it's still a meme. And like I say, it's movie karaoke. You can just throw out a line to a friend and like somebody will pick it up. It's ingrained in our culture in such a weird way. It's like the most fascinating thing to think about.
All right, Brandon, what are some of your takes on Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah,
you and I, we're both big Star Wars guys.
Big old Star Wars guys. And I was
me too.
Hey, I'm bigger though.
You watch the animated shows. Yeah, you got me on that one. Yeah.
But no, like kind of like Marco, like I think like when I went to go see it again in theaters, I was like, wait, was Revenge of the Sith the first Star Wars movie I saw in theaters? And I think it was. Like, I don't recall watching Attack the Clones or Phantom Menace in theaters. I was probably too young to remember it if I did. But this is one where I was like, yeah, this is my fucking movie. This is Star Wars. I love Anakin. I love Obi-Wan. I love Yoda flipping all about. And so, yeah, like this movie is like more so than the Attack the Clones and Phantom Menace. I think it's what you think of when you think of the prequels more so. Like, because when you think of Attack the Clones, maybe you think of like Jango Fett. Where you think of like Phantom Menace, you think of Darth Maul. But like with this, there's like so much. Like Nick mentioned, like the pace is like better, like it's so fast, things are happening every second, even if there's just people talking.
There isn't a slog point in Revenge of the Sith, unlike in Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones, where Phantom Menace, it was like, has a great first act. And a lot of dragging its
something else
through the sand in the second act.
And then Darth Maul shows up.
It's like pod racing, Darth Maul, Jar Jar does something.
Pretty much. But yeah, no, Revenge of the Sith is...
And Attack of the Clones, everyone remembers for, I don't like sand. And,
that's it,
you know, sand people genocide.
Kill the sand people. Hurt my mom.
Which the most bonkers shit I've ever heard and seen in my life is Anakin crashes out over murdering all of the sand people to Padme, and her reaction is just like, I want you.
That's kids.
That's hot.
That'll fix everything.
More like Padme Fisk over here.
Hey. Thank you. Thank you.
No, yeah, Revenge of the Sith. I think it's my
Revenge of
favorite. Yeah, it's the favorite. It's the best of the prequels. It's the most memorable for good reasons.
Younglings. There's a lot we could just dissect here.
Hunter, where were you when you first saw Revenge of the Sith?
Oh, I was in a movie theater with this girl trying to get my wiener touched. Like
that. Oh, look at you!
Oh, look at you!
Humble brag Hunter.
Take your nerd card away.
Spoiler
Sorry,
alert.
I wasn't paying attention to the movie.
Spoiler alert, it happened, by the way.
Well, good for you.
Ooh. What is this? Star Wars? What are we going to say?
Speaking of being force sensitive, but
oh my god, somebody stop him!
The movie, yeah.
Who this man?
You're welcome. But
throw a bottle cap at you.
But as someone who like grew up more of a Trekkie than a Wars fan, I didn't get into Wars more until like my early 20s. But I still remember seeing this in theaters, and I still remember going with my friend to see Phantom Menace. We saw it opening night and him being so goddamn disappointed. And I remember that was like the first time as a nerd kind of going, oh, these movies, like they can, because I was still riding that Spider-Man high, you know, and it was like, Spider-Man, yeah, they're all going to be like this. And then it's like, oh, no. Like sometimes the studio will just go, fuck you, and put out something that's shitty. And Attack of the Clones, I'm gonna be real. I rewatched it last year and I still don't remember it. Like I was like, God damn, like it's such a like it's just like it's one of those movies. Like it's one of those movies I like when I look at my list at the end of the year and I'm like, I know I saw this, but gun to my head, I could not tell you a thing about it. Like the thing you guys brought up about, you know, Anakin crashing out and Padme's being like, I need you right now. It's like, that's what I remember about it.
I remember the little lizard thingy. They were in like the gladiator pit.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. They matched up Padme with the monster that made her sexier.
Yeah, get that she got like her shirt ripped. Like, all right. We get it, George.
But like the joke I've been like the joke title I always refer to it as is episode 2 C-SPAN of the clones. Like that's been like,
there's a lot of things to talk
because that's essentially what it is. But the thing that's kind of funny about it is you kind of need Attack of the Clones to get here. So like, is it dumb? Yeah. Is it not good? Kinda. It's kind of like. it's kind of like the Quantum of Solace for me to get to Skyfall, where it's kind of like you kind of need that movie, like whether you like it or not, to get here. I will say I was way harder on this when I initially saw it because I wasn't into, I was going to church every week. I didn't want to hear more about politics, so it's like, what the fuck ever. But I rewatched this literally this morning because I was like, oh shit, I need to rewatch this. And as I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, okay, I don't remember it being this well paced. I definitely don't remember that. So many elements of this are unfortunately way more timely and relevant than they should be.
Yep.
Which
keep friendly.
for now. But I will say too, John Williams is like, if he's not your GOAT, like he's in the conversation, obviously.
Yeah, he's
of course.
I don't know if Williams is the GOAT, but he is a GOAT.
He might be.
That's a perfect way to put it. He's in his bag with this score. Like,
he's not too many W's.
It's kind of wild, like how
it is
in his bag he is in this. Like,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, because like the way he incorporates just more like Sith sounding stuff. Triple S, you're welcome. Into
super score
stuff. Score wise, as the film goes on, and as Anakin starts to make the inevitable turn, this kind of like the X-Men First Class of the Star Wars movies, because where it has to end up. We have to end up with Vader. We have to end with the Sith, rising and all that. But there is that part of you that's like, maybe Anakin will pull his head out of his ass. But that's what's so fascinating too, is like Hayden Christensen, like this is his best performance. Like he's like my god, it's so much better than Attack of the Clones.
What, you don't like Jumper?
Yeah, I you know what, Jumper's fun. Jumper's fun, y'all. Like it's Jumper, but
Jumper is in that like perfect early 2000s of dumb fun. Was this based on a comic book or was it not?
I think it was just some original stuff. When's the last time we thought about that?
It's just an original. Yeah, it's not like Push, where Push is just.
I was gonna mention.
I did want to say something real quick, Hunter, because you brought up a good point. Because this movie came out in 2005, Clones came out in 2002, and it felt like George Lucas had something to prove. Because in between those 3 years, Lord of the Rings ended, and The Matrix ended, and Spider-Man was happening, and the Hulk was happening. A lot was happening, so it felt like George was like, "Oh shit, I gotta show these fuckers how it's done."
And speaking of showing us how it's done, I think George Lucas, he has a lot of flaws as a filmmaker. I don't think he is the best writer of characters. I don't think he's great at writing dialogue. But when it comes to opening a movie, especially one that is going to be like the epic final chapter of this trilogy. I don't know anybody better than how he opens up with a bang on this movie.
I'm still like, how do they do that? That's real space.
They went to space.
They got cameras.
They did that.
For real.
Yeah, you can see Katy Perry if you look real close.
Gail King's floating right by.
And it's not just impressive by 2005 standards. This is impressive by today's standards.
This shit
still looks great.
It's still good. It's so
no
sick.
irony. This shit bangs.
Yeah,
I thought Anakin's
completely CGI
was so fly.
Yeah, completely CGI environment. The sound design, you feel the weight and the speed of these fighters and the chaos of the battle going on around it. It's like, okay, if I wasn't a big fan of Attack of the Clones, I'm fully invested right now.
Yeah, this is like when 2000 CGI like peaked for me.
It's so good, so good.
This and like King Kong, I was like, oh shit!
It's like that's a real monkey.
That's real.
There's a weight and gravity to all the CG where in rewatches of Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace, more so with the Phantom Menace because they added so much CGI to it in subsequent special editions. It's like you can feel that this was added in post, and I think out of the prequel trilogy, this has been the least touched by like special editions or re-releases and whatnot.
Yeah.
It always sucks when you're trying to watch A
on
New
it.
Hope and then you're like, oh, you put
Oh.
this.
Yeah, you got to find the right copy of New Hope now.
Yeah,
then-
which is absurd that that's even a thing.
Yeah.
But as far as like technical wise, Lucas is one of the best at just pure spectacle filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, he makes
Agreed.
you believe in it. You know, there's like there's just a certain level of magic that goes to it. Even like I said, New Hope, when you first see the ship crossing over, you're just absolutely bought. You buy it. It's like not like, oh, they spent a lot of money on this. You're like, no, you're in space. This is real. That's the crazy thing about Star Wars, and I think that's why so many people love it so much. It just it takes you somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah,
With
it's
that
like,
opening.
yeah.
I was gonna say with that opening, like you guys said, like it's such a bombastic, such a great like first act action just opening with that one take into them going into the ship to fight Dooku. But like even before that, the opening crawl just being like war is happening. Like it's a great standard, like just to be like, oh yeah, Attack the Clones. We aren't joking. There's been a war going on. If you guys didn't know,
it kind of you know on this last rewatch because I went to the theater to see it on the big screen, and the second I saw that opening title crawl, the voice of Jeff Bennett from Clone Wars just popped in my head.
Same.
War.
Heroes on both sides.
Which by the way, people, if you haven't watched the Clone Wars show, please watch the Clone Wars show. Like that is
both versions of Clone Wars.
Both versions.
Both on Disney Plus.
Like that's one of those stuff. Yeah, that's one of those shows that actually enhances like your canon. Like if you're trying. If you're trying to get someone into Star Wars, I'll be real. I'd probably start them with Clone Wars and be like, "This is going to be a very good foundation for everything else." Then you can get into like Knights of the Old Republic stuff and all that. It's. I think the thing that's so wild about this movie is that everything feels like it has a purpose storyline wise, which. I will have a rant later about this, but Rise of Skywalker just feels like such a it's such a cluster. Like
I don't even want It's just
y'all remember that Parks and Rec episode where they're trying to come up with like a mural and it's like that like clusterfuck of like 30 different posters and they're just that's basically what Rise of Skywalker is, and it's just like
And a lot of that is, you know, because Disney took over the franchise, they felt such a backlash from, you know, the reaction to The Last Jedi that they just, you know, like cowards just double down and say, okay, just give people what we think they want again.
And they're wrong. Nerds are wrong.
Yeah. Well, Jamarco does not speak for all of us. I am always correct in my in my pitches. But
you didn't like Malignant, so shut the fuck up.
I love that Malignant.
Because unlike y'all, I don't have a tumor. That's
and you haven't seen Goodfellas.
Hey, tumors are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't quote me on that
about that. But, too soon for Kennedy. But what I was trying to say.
So Revenge of the Sith.
but like Hunter was saying, every like beat in this movie, it all serves a better story. Even the very opening where we have to tie the loose end of Count Dooku from the previous film because you don't get an actor like Christopher Lee, who, you know, is one of our great genre actors. He was
an actual Nazi killer.
Hammer Films is Dracula and literal Nazi hunter. You don't get an actor like him and give him nothing to do.
Yeah,
even like his reintroduction in this, it's like presence.
Which I'll say too, the facial hair, fantastic.
Star Wars always has great facial hair.
The flip, I totally forgot about the flip. I was like, wait,
there's
what?
So many flips.
So many CGI flips are great.
I was like, why is there?
Okay. Fantastic.
He's just aura farming.
Look at that.
He is.
Coats off.
Everybody is. All the time.
Make a mess of things in front of the chancellor.
You won't get away this time.
Yeah.
And that's real choreography. Like they spent months doing all this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was crazy because Ian McGregor was on like the Graham Norton show talking about when they did the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which admittedly, like I actually did go back.
It's fine.
I liked it. I think it's a solid B-. I enjoyed it, but like it finishes stronger than it started for me. Like the first couple episodes, I was kind of like, for me, yeah. I was kind of like, I was like, all right, it feels like we're kind of walking on Tatooine. Can we wrap this up? And then it's like, okay. It's like, no, we got it. So, and that last fight between Kenobi and Vader is
so good.
That's maybe a top 4 Star Wars fight for me. Like that shit just really
I can't even think of more than 4.
That's why I gotta watch more animation, man.
Yeah, I know.
Dude,
I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there.
I know there's so much content. No,
so much Star Wars.
Yeah,
a lot of Star Wars.
But what I will say about this too is, I'm really happy for Hayden Christensen because, like I've said on here and on my pod that the only fans that hate themselves more than Snyder fans are Star Wars fans because Star Wars fans are just the shit. Like, sorry, let me look at the camera. You are the shittiest people in the world. It is amazing how shitty
Star Wars fans are the shittiest people in the world.
Like I cannot. In terms of fandom,
there's actual because there's actual Nazis in our government.
no, I'm just talking fandom. I'm just talking fandoms. You are the
Star Wars
fans
because Republicans, Nazis.
I mean, it's probably Star Wars fans and then like wrestling fans. Like it's very because y'all are just like I didn't even watch The Acolyte, but just reading some of the comments, I was like, y'all, like come
they don't know how to have
on,
fun,
like
you guys.
like why
could have had Kung Fu Star Wars and you guys?
Yeah, it's like why
you guys ruined it.
You blew it.
Why does this upset y'all so much? Like I don't.
I'll tell you
understand.
why, Hunter. Because the people of color were starring in it, and it was written by a woman.
I
mean, I know why. Yeah, exactly. It's
they
like,
don't like their words.
You know why? They couldn't handle the internet thirsting after an Asian Sith Lord.
That's the main reason.
That's
that really
why.
That shirtless shot of Manny Jacinto still lives in my head.
But it's insane. It's insane to me. It really is how this fandom has just to a point where you have people actively going, nah, I'm good. I don't want to join this franchise. Like Mikey Madsen,
everybody turned down
fresh off an Oscar.
Yeah.
Could
Mikey
literally
Madison.
pick any project she wants. Hey, you want to be in this movie, the Star Wars movie with Ryan Gosling? Nah, fam, I'm good. I'm gonna you're actively running people away from this franchise because you're so toxic. Like when you're doing that, you need to have a conversation. And I'm really happy for Hayden Christensen because this was probably the first example I remember of the fandom just ripping to like apart an actor and being genuinely like gross about it. And he went into hiding like he had 5 stars on a GTA game. Like he was just like, cool, I'm laying the cut. Fuck this.
He disappeared for a while after Revenge of the Sith came out. There were projects like Awake, which I think was like this movie where he was like
Awake is rough.
Yeah, that's like one of my biggest fears. I don't want to watch that.
That's a Jessica Alba one. Yeah, that's not a.
Terrence Howard. It's like they're doing
that's like he's getting heart surgery.
It's creepy.
He's getting heart surgery while he's conscious the whole time. It's a rough movie to watch. But I think the biggest point I always bring is the movie Shattered Glass, which is an incredible Hayden Christensen performance.
Yes, it is.
And something that I think everybody who dogs on him just having seen him in Star Wars, everybody should check that movie out anyway.
I agree.
It's fantastic. But that was, goes back to
and
my point.
Jumper's fun, y'all. Watch Jumper. Goddamn.
You got nothing to do today? Just put on Jumper.
It is.
You ain't doing shit. Put on Jumper.
It is fun, but I wish we followed Jamie Bell more.
Yeah, he was
right.
awesome.
Yeah, he's such a fun
Sam
character.
Jackson with the gray hair. Who was the girl? Was it? It was some.
That was Rachel Bilson. That was
Yeah.
Oh, that was her.
Rachel
That's
Bilson.
right. Yeah.
This is now the Jumper podcast, you guys.
Right, exactly. All Jumper, all
coming back
all
with gray
Jumper
hair
all the time. Yeah,
back to Star Wars.
But Hayden though, like I'm really happy they brought him back for Ahsoka. Like he's great on there too. Like that was a show that R.I.P. Ray Stevenson, you beautiful bastard. That's a show that really does get better. And Rosario Dawson, sup girl, fuck your ex. Like
all right.
Like she like it's crazy how she just how she looks like she's been 30 for like ever. She can obviously still play the character, but the choreography on that is so great, and it's really cool to see Hayden getting his flowers now after.
Yeah,
you
never know.
Yeah, I think Hunter.
After
froze.
what?
After what? Damn it!
Oh no! They got him.
Okay.
The Star Wars fans heard him.
All right, let's see. All right, got him off.
Got
him back.
Is he back?
Yeah.
I'll pick. Yeah. Hey,
there's some technical difficulties on Hunter's chat, Hunter's part of it, but that was it's a great point that it is great to see Hayden Christensen get his flowers 20 years later, even to the point where for this re-release, it opens with him. It's him.
Yeah, I love that.
Doing the thank you for coming to see it on the big screen.
Would you guys be down
like
for
people
a Vader
cheered
show?
when he came on screen for that bit, and I was like, yeah, you better cheer for Hayden.
Would you guys be down for a Vader show?
I would, only if it was like 3 episodes or something like that, like a mini.
I mean, if I would be down for like
or a short film, maybe
like a Star Wars special presentation. Like
there you go.
Like
I'd say like day one, year one.
Like what they did for the Guardians Christmas special, or like Werewolf by Night. If they did that for Darth Vader, because for as much crap as I give the Disney era of Star Wars, they always nail it when it comes to Vader.
Oh, for sure, man.
Like I feel like they got pressure.
And like even
Hunter mentioned the Obi-Wan show, but like Vader is so good in that when he enters.
Yes.
And just like through the Disney years, like there's been so many good like Vader comics that they could like adapt for like that special presentation. So like
what's the quote?
Which one?
He's like, all I see is fear.
All I'm surrounded by is fear and death.
Yes.
That would
Hayden
go hard
would kill
as fuck.
that.
And I like that if you didn't really, you had the moment with the Sand People Massacre in the last film, but here is where we really start to see the cracks of Vader form, because when Anakin, at least in Attack of the Clones, he was portrayed much more whiny and immature, which on some level, on a writing perspective, I get, because this is a guy who has just been very emotionally repressed, taught to suppress all emotion, and has these dark impulses that he's not allowed or even encouraged to explore at all. And you start to see that in his final fight with Count Dooku.
Yeah.
A character that dog walked him last movie.
Cut his arm off. Not cut your arms off.
Best line.
Good. Kill him.
What? Look at wait, what?
Wait a minute, what the fuck?
My man.
Like again, like Christopher Lee, like short amount of time, but I love his reaction here. He's just what?
Do it.
Yeah. DEW. Well, do it.
Yeah.
Do the do.
That.
I just love that bit of sound design as the two sabers clash. It's like
Mhm.
that like nails on the
Yeah.
chalkboard.
Yeah.
It's like I was like
Yeah, so
yeah, because
definitely
my
not
theater
evil.
went nuts at freaking
Do it.
You know, head isn't always a good thing.
You-
Eh?
Hey-o!
You're
I've heard of
welcome.
I've heard of taking 2 swords, but this is ridiculous.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. But
We're going out.
but but
That's
the way
all,
that
folks. All right.
but the way that Anakin does make, like, the thing that's so interesting on a rewatch is that what Anakin's being told is not wrong in terms of there's a reason why you need someone like an Ahsoka, like a Kirk, because when you're blindly following anything, and that's any ideology, and you leave no room for questioning, that's how shit gets bad. Look at most Star Trek stories. There's a reason why when Starfleet is like, oh hey, like we're gonna just go to this planet. Oh, why are you going here? Oh, for oil. Oh, I mean, no, we're going to
Totally going to help the locals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but there's a reason why that's a constant running theme. Like, you should always, like, a lesson for you kids: question everything. You should question everything, because and do your own research, for fuck's sake. But what Anakin's whole seduction arc in here, it's from a place of him wanting to save the person that he cares about the most in the world. So it's from a pure perspective, but the way that things are being twisted, and admittedly the Jedi do some shit where hey, you're on the Jedi Council, but you're not a you're not a master.
We do not grant you the rank of master.
Yeah, even like
that's fucked up.
Even condescendingly, Mace Windu is like, take a seat, young Skywalker.
Yeah,
As in my bitch. Sit down.
Yeah, it's very much the respect your elders bullshit. Like, it's very much in that ilk. And so as you see Anakin, kind of raising an eyebrow more and more, being like, wait a minute, like, what aren't y'all telling me? You understand why he's feeling like this and why he is questioning. It's just that he goes way too far to the other side. And per usual, there needs to be a case for nuance. You need to be able to, to operate in that middle, that gray area. And unfortunately, that is not something that occurs, because once you slaughter a room full of kids, like that ever happens in America. But once you go ahead and once you go ahead and you do that, and you're going like, oh hey, like, we can have any life that we want together, and we can make,
it's perfect now. We don't have to worry anymore.
It's very much dictator-esque, like the way that some people don't connect the giant dot to space Nazis. I do not fuck understand. Like this movie in particular, not subtle in terms of what it's trying to tell you.
They just had that on Andor. They're like, why is the space Nazis committing sexual assaults?
They're space Nazis.
Which, by the way, people like,
hey, Darth Vader can excuse child murder, but he draws the line at sexual assault.
Right, exactly.
Come on,
I'm happy you brought up Andor, because I have not started Andor yet. That is something that's gonna.
Sorry.
No, I know, I was aware of that. Like, because I already had people ask me my thoughts.
Internet
on it,
is too much.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But
Twitter.
But I'm gonna probably start next week. People, you say you want adult stories in Star Wars. Make up your mind. Honestly, like, make up your mind what the fuck you want, because over here I'm hearing Disney's doing too much kiddie shit. Okay, fine, fair enough. You wanted to be more adult, cool. This is something that happens. It does happen, especially when it comes to
war,
institutions, and war.
War.
And so when this occurs, and I have people going, "Oh, well, that's too far." Like, people, like, war is not pleasant, and I think that's like
we're talking about a franchise where the main villain, even in A New Hope, is we're gonna build a giant moon to destroy planets.
Just because we
Yeah.
can.
Exactly. Like there's
In Force Awakens, they're like, let's build a bigger one and destroy more planets.
It was the planet's fault for the rings around it.
Yeah. You know what? You got a point.
They didn't know how a big tractor beam.
The planet was asking for it.
The planet needed it, honestly. Better for the galaxy.
It's got to be careful what solar system it hangs out in.
There we go.
Exactly. Yeah.
It shouldn't have been there when the Death Star was around, okay? Maybe move around.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Is that a big move? Okay, let's go.
I would just like to remind the class that the last block I got on Twitter before I quit was Gina Carano, who fucked up her career. Good job, dummy. Because I simply tweeted at her, even Darth Vader wears a mask, and it was like 10 minutes later, my ass was blocked. So haha, you're not on Star Wars anymore.
but I think
you can catch her in the new Daily Spin movie or whatever.
Yeah.
But getting back to Revenge of the Sith, one of the highlights of the prequel trilogy was Ian McDiarmid, who plays Palpatine in all three movies.
Yeah,
and is reprising his role from Return of the Jedi. A role he played when he was in his 20s.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah, he was
so crazy to me.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good makeup.
I could be playing Palpatine right now.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, he was born in. Oh, excuse me, not his 20s, in his 40s.
Still great. He looks great.
And, looks fantastic. And we saw like the little seeds of Palpatine being kind of shady in all three movies, but here is where you get this beautiful look of him playing Anakin like a fiddle.
It comes him out.
Considered to be
unnatural.
What happened to him? He became so powerful.
Just that little smirk. He knows.
Oh yeah, he knows.
Look at him. He's chewing every line up.
Eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew. Then his apprentice killed him in his sleep.
Ironic.
It's ironic. It's like
at no point Anakin is like, how do you know this?
Yeah, it's like
Is it possible to learn this power?
Not from a Jedi.
You just had to get just had to get that pause in
the head turn.
Dramatic pause.
He knew he had him on
let it simmer. You gotta let it simmer.
Yeah, like Palpatine, like it's so fucked too.
All right,
because
not yet, and boom.
No, got him. I felt good about that one.
Which, by the way, shout out to Bradley Martin for his whole Palpatine fucks running gag because
get him to explain it one day.
Because when you get to because I remember sitting there watching Rise, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my god, he's right. Like literally, like he called this shit like a year in advance. Like I can't even give him shit for it. Like he nailed it. Like damn it.
I thought I was grossed out, but then I see like Bill Belichick and his girlfriend, so I'm like, shit happens.
Hey,
girlfriend in quotes.
Girlfriend in quotes.
When you got that kind of money, you'll have a whole army of chicken heads at your disposal.
Yeah.
Palpatine probably pulled. He pulled when he was young.
Oh man, he was in the city. He's like, "Hey, baby, let me show you my cool spaceship."
I mean, I don't like putting like
I'm just thinking of like that Nosferatu TikTok, and I'm just picturing Palpatine.
Yeah.
Like, you must bounce on
just in the shadows.
Just imagining like. I'm sure. Oh man, putting that. How old is Belichick? Belichick's in his 70s, right? He's 70, right? Like just
old enough to know better.
Oh man, that that old wrinkled dick probably looks like white spam. Like, it's like
He probably looks like Palpatine
like-
in Rise of Skywalker.
like-
what do you mean?
like
like when the
God,
toothpaste is
gross.
almost out. Yeah,
right. Exactly.
Come on!
Yeah.
just there's something there.
that gave a reaction. I
Neil,
like
Neil.
that.
I mean, the girl looks 19. Somewhere Shannon Sharp's ears are perking up.
Oh, how relevant we are.
Topical cultural humor, kids.
Yeah, you're welcome. Shannon, stay away from those 19-year-olds, brother. Come on now.
But it's funny you mentioned
Matt Williams is right.
Palpatine fucking, because Ian McDiarmid came out because Revenge of the Sith, a lot of interviews with the cast now. He said it's a horrible idea to think of Palpatine having sex in any shape or form. But then perhaps
absolutely.
he didn't. Maybe it's all to do with midichlorians, and don't ask me what those are.
Yeah, there you go.
Dude,
Love this dude. He's the best.
Damn, I would have loved a Natalie Portman interview.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I mean, just rewatch the Natalie raps.
There you go. Say something about the fucking prequels.
Same thing. But so I will say too, the final lightsaber fight in here is just like you want to talk about something where you're just like, oh yeah, that's the stuff. That's because again, it has to end with them fighting. Like it has to end with that. Marco, you're
okay?
right, brother?
He's getting force choked. Somebody help him.
Yeah, damn. I know. Vader's got him.
Sorry, I got emotional thinking about that.
Careful.
I'm alive.
Stop drinking that.
I tried to stomach through it. I was like, I can do it. I'm cool.
Too much,
More camera.
too much
I'm
blue
cool.
milk.
Right. but that last fight, like it's fucking heartbreaking. Because Obi-Wan doesn't want to do this. Like he doesn't.
He
but
begged
Anakin,
Yoda.
yeah, like he's literally big. Like it's kind of weirdly similar to Bruce's grave scene in Mask of the Phantasm, where he's like asking Yoda for like any reason outside of having to fight,
Don't
his
make me
brother.
do it.
Yeah, and Yoda's like, dude, sorry, man. Like I love I love where Yoda, like where he's Obi-Wan's about to look at the security footage, and Yoda even tells him like, you probably don't want to look at that. Like it's, as I said in the chat earlier, like it's gonna really bum you out, and seeing your apprentice slaughter a bunch of kids, kind of puts a damper on your day.
Oh, you got to get the pose, Nick. Hold on.
Yeah.
The walking. There it is.
Come on. Run it back. Run it back.
There you go.
So good. Yeah, man. But this is like that last ditch effort too of Obi-Wan being like, is there anything in there?
Any redeemable?
Yeah.
Is my friend in there?
Is there anything of the man of the boy who I, essentially raised since he was a child and, fought for years in the Clone Wars right beside as his friend and brother. And there's nothing left of it.
I was going to say, he did start wearing black all the time. It's a pretty...
Maybe a red flag.
Right. Exactly.
Like, Anakin, I thought we were doing the white. What's up with the...
Yeah, like, but just like, even like in some, like, Anakin's looks, and Christensen does a lot of just facial, acting just with his face, where like earlier in the film, he seems very, conflicted, obviously, on what side he wants to choose. But once he starts talking, but once he starts talking to Palpatine more, you just see how his face settles more, like he's accepting the bullshit he's being fed, and it just, this part in particular, it fucking sucks,
Yeah, this whole fight scene, on top of just being excellently choreographed, and this is all Yoon and Hayden. This isn't sped up. This isn't digital. This is all them doing this fight.
Hayden loves his little behind the back move.
He does love that move. Yeah, that's like his Iverson crossover.
Yeah.
And my favorite little beat in this whole fight scene, it's like this moment right here, because he tries the same move he did on Dooku.
Ooh. Yeah,
he tries.
He tries
a little bit in that boom.
He knows them too well.
I'm happy you caught that, because I said the same. Like, Alea's not a big Star Wars fan, but I pointed out to her, and she was just like, Jesus, like, she's like, you watch this shit too much. I'm like, this is my third time watching this movie. I literally have not watched this.
This is
yeah.
Shit, I don't even know how many times I've watched this movie.
Yeah,
I have not watched. I have not watched. I have not watched a Star Wars film more than 4 times. That's not called Rogue One or Empire. Like I have not.
This is easily the most Star Wars movie I've watched the most.
Same.
Yeah, Rogue One I've probably watched 10, 12 times start to finish. That's my favorite Star Wars film. That or Empire. I go back and forth. But but this one I will say, this allows Hayden the most room to act, because he does get to play like a spectrum here. He gets to play someone that's conflicted. He gets to play someone early on. By the way, I will say too, another reason why I actually like Anakin, he actually loves R2-D2. He actually treats his droids with respect. That's something that's always pissed me off about the Jedi. They treat the robot like
they're so racist to the droids.
They're so shitty to the droids all the time, and it's like,
I love
you
the droids.
wonder why these droids are sometimes kind of like, like, fuck you, master, fill in the blank here. It's like, maybe we didn't like treat us like walking trash cans. Maybe we do your commands faster, you assholes. It's like I actually appreciate that about Anakin, that he actually understands that. And again, like, the Jedi just do some shit in this movie where you are like, yeah, maybe if you guys weren't so shitty, Anakin wouldn't have turned kind of easily, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, let's call it what it is. Like, or as easily. Yeah, that's fair. But
the Jedi are like your strict parents.
Don't you? I mean,
and
you tell me not to do something, I'm gonna do it.
Exactly.
And that is something that I came to this movie, knowing a lot of the lore, because, however many rewatches, however many, deep dives into Star Wars lore about the Jedi and their practices. I wish it was more shown on screen. There was like a bigger emphasis on like some of the shadier practices of the Jedi. Is that, most often they take these young children from their homes when they're infants and bring them to this temple and indoctrinate them into this very, very strict religious dogma. And something that always struck me when, we finally get Palpatine showing his hand to Anakin, to revealing himself as a Sith Lord. Something that always struck me is that, to understand a great mystery, you have to study all of it, not just the dogma.
1,000%.
That's a great
1,000%. Like,
and that goes further into the just like 40 chess levels of manipulation that Palpatine does to Anakin. It was
1,000%.
Sprinkling just like little bits of truth and nuggets of wisdom in there.
Just enough.
I mean, look, I'll throw it out. I mean, I've talked about this before. I was going to be I was going to be a youth pastor in my pre-streaming days, but something that I religiously did is I studied other religions, because I want to be able to speak to anyone about it. And one thing that the Jedi constantly does is run away from the Sith, and not because it's the red button theory. If you don't teach people why the red button is bad and why you shouldn't push it, instead of just saying don't push the red button, well, then of course you're gonna want to push the red button, because like, what the fuck does it do? Why can't you just tell me? And and some of the best Star Wars lore, oh my god, Force Unleashed, a prime example. Gets more into like that overlap between the Jedi and the Sith, and the fact that there is like this middle area where kind of, to go back to First Class, where it is like that balance between anger and serenity, like that middle part, that's where you want to live, because you see it even in Attack of the Clones. Anakin's anger is a positive when he can channel it. Like, it makes him a better fight. It makes him a better yielder of a lightsaber too. It really is an enhancement for him. But when you lean so far into the anger, like Magneto does sometimes, you get distracted. Your powers may not, work the way you want them to, et cetera, et cetera. And the fact that none of the Jedi, including Obi-Wan, like kind of sit down and have that conversation with him, like, look, dude, like we all have struggled with this. That's a fault on the Jedi's part. That's a huge fault on their part. And to Nick's point, while I do wish that there was more of that portrayed on screen in this film, Clone Wars really gets into that. A lot of the Star Wars books really gets into that. Like if you're kind of jonesing for that, I'd recommend going the Knights of the Old Republic, like the original Jedi Knights, like that ilk. You'll get a lot more of that stuff in there.
Even more recently with Star Wars Jedi Survivor, a big point of that game is Count Kestis struggling with the pull of the dark side, and it treats it in a way that, okay, this is, at one point he needs to tap into that in order to survive and escape the Imperials, but it also shows that there is a way you go too far.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like both of you got like really good points, especially bringing up Clone Wars, because like I know like a big complaint, especially when this movie came out, was like, oh, Anakin turned too fast, the Darth Vader thing was like too fast. But like with the benefit of Clone Wars and more Vader stories in general, like you really see Anakin's turn is like not that fast. Like it's slow. Like you see him, these spurts of violence, these spurts of like dark side coming out of him. That kind of goes unchecked for like a long time. Like, even Obi-Wan and Ahsoka are there to witness it, and they're just like, yo, chill out. But like at the same time, like he's still doing it. Like I sent that like thing in the chat, and I just sent it in the message, but just like a very, very funny compilation of Anakin being like, it's not the Jedi way, and then him like doing so many war crimes and not the Jedi way. And like I think that's such an interesting aspect of like the character and like the Jedi in general, just like it's right in front of the face. That's the whole thing of the prequels, is right in front of the whole time. But the hubris is so much, the ego is so big, they can't even see
it's just like you were saying with the Palpatine theater scene, where the scene we didn't show, but it was like, the Jedi are selfless, they only care about each other people.
The Sith, the Jedi only use their powers for good. It's like, good's a point of view, kid. It's like,
he's like, the Jedi don't. Yeah.
But also that's bullshit though too. Like they don't just like the Jedi do.
Even this whole scene where we get Palpatine slaughtering a whole bunch of Jedi masters.
It's treason.
Treason, man.
Yeah. This is great.
Poor Kit Fisto.
So
I love
poor Kit Fisto. R.I.P.
You suspect him of being a Sith Lord. You just barge into his office, no questioning, no. Hey,
they're the feds.
You'd like me to come with us? Immediately drawing swords.
Yeah.
I don't think you're under arrest, buddy.
I am
even just more of Ian McDiarmid just getting more of the affectations of the Emperor.
I love his blinged out saber.
Right. It's ironic that Mace is actually basically. It's interesting. Mace is acting like the white guy in this scenario.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it is.
Okay. First off,
run that flip back.
Talk about the screen. Too.
Run that flip back.
Jesus.
That screen is so good.
So good.
I'm running out the door, man. I'm out.
Nope.
Yep, like I'm good.
I posted a full 360 standing.
That might be my right now. That might be my favorite thing about Rogue One too, is how those people, as soon as they saw Vader come, they're like, "Fuck this!" Like they were like, "Oh, like we are running, fuck him." Like
it went from open the door to fuck it, just take it.
Yeah, but it's like good. It's like I appreciate that. I appreciate white people being smart enough to just go like, you know what?
Yes.
I'm not gonna actually stick here and wait for the lightsaber to go through me. I'm gonna just run and go the other way.
And my favorite
all-time favorite,
because this movie, more so than the previous two, this is the Ian McDiarmid show.
Yeah,
and him just chewing scenery.
No.
So bad.
Anakin's
So
like,
cute.
I'm conflicted.
I'm just an innocent old man. Let me electrocute you real quick.
Right, yeah.
Anakin's like, I'm having a really hard time processing all this.
This is a lot, you guys.
I mean, it is a lot to process, to be fair. Like, I mean, like
My
the force,
boss
like
is
force lightning,
electrocuting
all
my
that. Like,
superior.
yeah. Like,
3 Jedi dead on the floor.
And
That's
of
a
course
lot.
he's milking it. It's like I
milking
can't hold it.
Help me, Anakin.
I'm so old and feeble.
I'm so
Look
old
at
and
me. Like,
feeble.
yeah. Like,
I am going to end
this is why when y'all give me shit for saying I kick an old man down a flight of stairs, this is what I'm talking about. See,
I work at Arby's. I would too.
Yeah, like not all old people are nice, man. Sometimes you gotta...
I'm so weak.
I'm so fucking old, guys.
Yeah.
Nope. He's like,
I need him.
I love that zoom.
why is he taking?
Oh.
And of course, a scene that spawned a million memes.
I remember being freaked out as a kid watching this in the theater.
Oh,
I'm saying.
absolutely.
He turned him
Also,
into a
too-
skeleton.
Also, too, the Hitchcock rule: never saw a body. I'm
Not
just
dead.
saying.
Oh,
Not dead.
I mean, literally at the re-release, Sam Jackson was there and he was like, "Mace lives."
Yeah.
the child.
And-
Bryce Dallas Howard cheese, maybe. They're
oh,
working.
oh.
She's like,
Oh,
I
Bryce
talked to Sam. We're trying to
Yeah,
make
Bryce.
something happen.
First off, Bryce Dallas Howard, sup, girl. But also, like, yeah, give me a Mace miniseries. Give me 6 episodes.
It's not like Sam
Yeah,
Jackson
give us
has
at
anything
least, like-
else.
At least like a special presentation. But
Sounds
that
like it.
is
Yeah.
like the story climax of the whole movie.
Sam
That
deserves
is the
it.
turning point of
Sam deserves a world. He's given us so much iconic shit for decades. Let him pick up a lightsaber
One more
again.
time. It ain't got to be a whole season. It can be like,
Yeah,
and
a whole hour.
and I'm not a fan of that critique that Anakin turns to the dark side so fast, but let's look at it this way. He just assisted in killing a senior member of the Jedi Council. His life as he knows it is over.
Is done.
over.
Yeah.
He would have been.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No. He's yeah. They're throwing him in a sand pit like the next day if he's like, oh hey, so fun story. I may or may not have assisted in cutting up.
So Mace
in cutting
Windu
up.
fell.
Yeah, I thought black people could jump. What do you want?
He said he got good
He's a
height.
Jedi.
I want to see what he can do.
Black. He should be able to jump super high.
Yeah, exactly.
But to the Hunter's point earlier, like to Anakin contemplating, like the scene before that, when it's just like it's probably like the best directed scene in the prequel from Lucas.
Yes.
No lines at all, just Anakin and Padme, and like they're both just staring outside the window. You can see the conflict on Hayden's face, probably like one of the best scenes for him. And
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
That little
I think
tear.
even in the novelization, yeah, right. I think even in the novelization, they really confirmed that it's like Padme can feel him through the Force, even though she doesn't know like what it is. But like just that connection between those two and him contemplating and then being like, yeah, I can't live without this woman. I got to do it. I got to dark side it.
Well,
One of my favorite scenes, speaking of contemplating, is after when he's on Mustafar and he kills all the Gungans or whatever, and like, he's just staring at the lava, and he's just brooding, and like that one little tear comes out.
You see if he had any time to process all that he's done at this point, and even if he had a little bit of regret, it's too late now.
Yeah,
For sure.
That's when it's over. He's like, I'm Darth Vader. That's the transformation.
That's it. Yeah.
Complete.
Yeah, that scene is. I mean, admittedly, it's a bit of a bummer. We need to see Anakin like pulling a Mac and Charlie and just beating up all those kids.
Yeah,
that's the first order. Hey, congratulations on your promotion. I'm gonna need you to kill some kids.
First order of business: kill some kids.
I mean, first, let's
Oh.
be real. First order of business for the Sith, it is, and this is the most important thing for any, evil kind of thing.
Mhm.
You got an aura farm, baby.
There you
You
go.
know it.
Upgrade, suit upgrade. Bad guy gets a suit upgrade.
Got my whole crew
Just
behind
got
me.
an aura farm.
That shot though, I love
Man.
that shot so much. It's like, okay, like
Yeah. Look at my hoodie.
The
right,
Order 66
right.
scene is like probably one of the best. Like, it's so good.
Agreed. Well, it's crazy too, just how quickly. No, never mind. I'll be good. But it's kind of quick. It's insane how
This
quick.
is all CGI, by the way. These are all CGI robot
and
clones.
it
Look at
is
this badass.
insane.
Look at this guy.
to-
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
This-
fuck you,
this
fuck you, fuck
absolute
you.
G.
The clothes are best.
Yeah, that absolute menace to society.
For real.
Just going back to how
Trevor,
quick it
no!
happens,
I gotta
'cause-
do it.
Tell them to move to higher levels. Very good, sir. Oh, by the way, I
The
think you'll
great
be needing
Tamora
this.
Morrison.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Cody. Now let's get a move on. We've got
Aquaman
battles with
stab.
you. Yes, sir.
It is crazy how Ian McGregor still basically looks the same after all
Yeah,
this
shot.
time.
Right?
What's up?
It's kind of it's kind of weird, but
The time has come.
Uh-oh.
Mm-mm.
Execute Order 66.
How many orders are there?
yeah,
I mean, at least
Yeah.
66.
yeah,
At least over
we're-
66, approximately.
Yeah.
Wow.
Execute Project 20. I mean, Order 66. Pardon me.
Execute Order 55. We're gonna kill all the
Pardon.
animals? No, the Jedi.
right.
Jolanya. Longing.
Oh.
Rusted. Great. Homecoming.
Homecoming.
I mean, say what you will about the Sith. They got to that shit quick. They're like, cool.
Oh,
We
oh,
got, like,
yeah.
it's like
They're
it
like
was like, god damn.
2 minutes. No prep time.
Yeah,
Just go.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
absolutely no. brother.
I've seen this movie. I don't even know how many times, and it still gets me. I still have this
It's a
little twinge of
heartbreaker.
hope that we'll see a survivor of this. And it's
Same.
one of these
When Yoda's
moments
cane
that
falls?
just reverberate throughout the entire canon of Star Wars.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like, when I watched it at the re-release in the theater, like all I could think of was like the scene with Ahsoka, like on the ship. And I think of baby Grogu escaping the temple, thinking of like all these
Yeah.
other like moments in Order
even-
66, and like,
I think of the pilot of Bad Batch. I think of
man.
the scene in Fallen Order, the flashback scene.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you know,
so
funny,
many good
funny
moments.
funny you mentioned some of the other orders of the Empire. I think we found a clip that's got some answers.
Oh, I think
Oh.
I know.
Shit, wrong clip.
I think I know
Smooth.
what clip he's setting
what
up,
could
though,
it be? I don't know.
and I'm already laughing.
Yeah, it was like,
Oh,
you know,
Yeah,
what were the first
I
65?
think I know where it's going.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
good old Star Wars robot chicken. Sweet robot chicken, come back to me.
From Tatooine, manipulate a Gungan and kill the Booze Queen, trap a Mon Calamari, take a ton on hot safari, hit a spot on Osterfall with artist Ralph McQuarrie. Oh, number 13, find investors, number 14, make a Death Star, will you imagine draw some plans on to unmask a dirty Jawa, recall General Dodonna, clone a load of cannon fodder out on Camino. You know,
I will
love
say
it.
though,
Shout out to Robot Chicken.
it still bothers me. I think Padme's death is so dumb. Like
Oh,
it's
lost
still
the
like,
You're
like,
lost
as
the
I
You're
was
not
watching it,
wrong.
I was like, this is
George at
goddamn
his most
stupid.
poetic.
George was
Like,
lazy
yeah.
that day. He was just like, I
Like,
don't know. She
yeah.
just gave up.
Because
Feels like he just finished directing the fight scene between Anakin and Obi-Wan and the conclusion of it. It was like, ugh, okay, what we got
I'm
left?
tired, y'all. You've been shooting this shit for 3 weeks.
because there is a story there of Padme helping to lead this like resistance. Like there's an interesting
Yeah,
what
she was
if.
a fucking
uh,
rebel.
Yeah, there's this interesting what if there, and the fact that the movie just kind of goes, and we're good. It's like,
She's pregnant now.
But I can see that, but because so much of the third act of this movie is leading directly into A New Hope. We see the inside of Princess Leia's ship. We go back to Tatooine at the very end of it. We see Bail Organa, who's played by Jimmy Smits.
Jimmy Smith.
And if Padme survived the end of this movie, that would have just ended to endless questions about wait, why the fuck wasn't she around during A New Hope?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Padme does walk away. She does walk away with like the biggest, most relevant line of the movie.
Well, if there's one thing Star Wars never does, it's retcon. So you're
Natalie Portman, you still look good.
She does. I'm just saying. Like, I mean,
I don't know. After I watched May December, I'm kind of giving her the side eye a little bit.
Oh yeah, she's just slumming it now.
Oh, you know what, Natalie? It's fine.
I liked May December.
It's a movie I'll never revisit. It's in that
12. Yeah, a lot of Netflix movies I don't go back to.
Yeah, I mean that's completely fair at the rate.
I mean, the only one is The Harder They Fall, and we can't talk about that one anymore.
Yeah. There's a major issue there.
There's a major issue in the way.
But yeah, I mean, the last thing, one of the last things I'll say is when Anakin goes to make that jump, I always remember sitting in the theater being like, dude, like don't do it. And Obi-Wan even tells him, he's like, don't.
Pretty ballsy, man. Don't
you underestimate my power, homie.
Yeah, he's like, don't do this shit. Like, I will. And
I will literally end you, buddy.
Yeah, and man, you want to talk about like getting hit with a lightsaber would suck anyway.
By the end of this fight, Anakin looks about as dead as anything could be.
Like a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah.
He is burnt to a crisp.
There's cooked, and then there's whatever the hell Anakin is.
I think like charred, like fucking.
It's like the worst thing that could happen to a person.
Burnt.
You got no legs.
And going back to the final fight scene, the escalate. It does what any great action set piece should do. It's just introduce our two characters, have relevance to plot, and keep finding ways to escalate.
Oh yeah,
even
it's beautiful.
Locations.
Even by the end of it, they're like trying to kill each other on a falling, floating tower of lava.
A fucking waterfall, lava fall.
There's beef, and then there's this.
Was it? Yeah, no.
We lost our host,
Nick.
We did. He'll be back.
To the lava.
Fucking Anakin looking like.
He's back.
Anakin
we
looking
lost
like.
buddy.
We lost to the fires of Mustafar.
This is like a fight between Peter Griffin and the chicken, but played straight.
Okay, somebody put the music under that, please. Somebody put the music, the robot, chicken, not the Family Guy chicken fight music under the lightsaber fight.
Anakin looks like Magic Johnson if he was poor.
Jeez,
what Magic Johnson do?
Just a straight Magic Johnson shot.
Just a straight up Magic Johnson.
I know.
Shout out to Magic.
Love your theaters, but
I miss winning time.
Same. But
dang, not sad. Thanks.
No,
but it's heartbreaking.
It's just too awesome.
In the way that Obi-Wan
let us.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah.
Just watch. Yep.
Leap. He could have made that.
I have the high ground. You underestimate my power. Don't try it.
Don't do it.
Yeah, he's like.
He just went straight vertical.
Yeah.
He should have went horizontal.
He should have faked him out. Really, should have did like a little jump in there.
Yeah, a little shoulder fake. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Kobe.
But man, the fact that Obi-Wan still can't finish the job too, like
he's like, nah.
You were the chosen one. It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them.
I'm really sad.
Bring balance to the Force, not leave it
broke my heart.
Right.
Oh.
Snyder
None of those
fans took
contacts-
gun in July.
Oh, they'll be fine.
Oh.
I loved you.
Oh. That's just to add fuel to the
Then
fire.
here, it's just like a,
Right.
As if getting your legs cut off.
just a little lava fire.
Yeah, no big deal.
Ugh.
Yikes.
Man.
Oof.
Gee.
Oof.
Jesus. That's gotta suck.
Ah, damn.
But, yeah.
It's like he took a bath in olive oil before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That kind of made me
Yeah.
sad. Damn.
Heartbreaking.
like,
Damn.
but Ewan McGregor does a great job of selling,
Exactly.
that angst and that heartbreak. And
That scene
again,
doesn't
Hayden,
work without him.
yeah, and Hayden Christensen, like he only has that, that one line, that I hate you, but it's like
Yeah.
it's delivered with so much venom and so much emotion. You're just like, damn, like he really does hate them.
Yeah, it's insane to think about the journey that he goes on throughout this movie because the movie starts and they're boys, they're brothers in arms, they're friends, and it ends
Maverick
so
and Goose.
tragically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the most tragic.
Yeah. Again,
Star
like
Wars is
first
at
class.
its best when it's a tragedy.
But
Yes.
but let's get to final thoughts on. I think we've talked about.
Yeah, we were talking about it.
But
Yeah, it's fine.
Hunter, what are your final thoughts on this most recent rewatch of Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah, like I really hadn't rewatched this since my my Hollywood video days. Like I literally haven't rewatched this since I was like 20. So
Damn.
it was wild to actually rewatch this. And like Alea actually watched a little bit with me because she's not a huge Star Wars fan, but I've shown her some stuff. And I've shown her Star Wars stuff. Pow! But I don't know. But I just love seeing Jamarco's reactions to things in real time. Now she's like,
That's what killed me. Yeah, that's what killed me.
it's like I can feel the disappointment. I will get more puns in before we get out of here. But it's one
So
of those
final thoughts.
but it's one of those. It really is heartbreaking because, like I mentioned, with X-Men First Class earlier, where this has to end up. That this has to happen. It's just a matter of how it happens. And props to Lucas, man. You can say a lot about George Lucas. He is, he had at points fucked up this brand. Not like J.K. Rowling has, but he had lost a lot of goodwill with Star Wars fans.
For sure.
I think this is a great capper for the prequel trilogy, which admittedly is quite uneven, but it ends on a high note. And, that's all you can kind of ask for at the end of the day. It's damn sure better than Rise of Skywalker because boy, howdy. Oof.
That's another pod.
Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast. But the Padme thing does bother me. Like it bothered me when I originally saw it. It bothered me when I rewatched it in my 20s, and it still bothers me now. It's goddamn stupid, and it bothers me that Lucas was kind of like, whatever. But there's so much good shit in here. Like we didn't even really talk about the Yoda Palpatine fight, which is just like, oh my god, seeing Yoda get to actually show out. It's like. It took me back to Soul Calibur 2 when he was a character. Yeah, and it was like, oh, should I get to play with as Yoda? Let's go! Like,
wow,
yeah. See, this is why you tune in. I pull references from everywhere, but it's a great fucking movie, and it's so well handled. It's a great war film too.
Yeah.
And this would be a really good opening to kind of get someone more into Star Wars, even if they hadn't watched should you probably watch the first two? Yeah, probably, but
if you're like not into Star Wars,
but
this is the most entertaining.
Those movies are rough to sit through.
Yeah.
Even
but
a big fan of Star Wars, they are kind of a slog to get through.
They are, but this rewards you for getting through the first two. Is what I would say. So I mean, I'd go high tune in on this. Like I said, I do have some gripes, but it's still so well handled for me, and the action stuff has weight. And this is the best dialogue out of the three prequels. So yeah, I'd go high tune in.
Oh yeah.
Right. Marco.
Yes. Well, I mean, I recently marathoned all the Star Warses because I didn't have shit to do. So, like you guys said, the prequels were a slog. Phantom was tough. Clones was tough.
Yeah, Phantom's rough.
This brought me right back to life, and like I said, I grew up with this one being the most prominent Star Wars of my teenage years. So it led me to go back to watch the originals, and it kind of started the whole Star Wars thing for me. And it's easily one of the most entertaining. Like the problems we have with this movie are small, but it's like an entertaining film all the way through. People are gonna have issues with the Disney sequels, and the OG ones are kind of slow. They're great movies. Don't get me twisted, but they're 70s movies. They're 80s movies.
Yeah,
they
different kind of pace.
Yeah,
they
move.
They are products of their time. Even though
exactly. And I'm not slamming it. I love it, but you gotta have patience, you know. So, but I think for this one, it's the most popcorny, the most fun of them all. I mean, like you said, like we all know a line from it. You know, I didn't even get to some of the classics. You know, like only a Sith deals in absolutes, and you know, just some of the great stuff there. And another scene we should highlight really quick: Kashyyyk, all the Wookiees. I love the Wookiee battle. Yeah. A little special cameo from Chewbacca. You know,
that was cool. Yeah,
almost like a little teaser. Chewbacca will return in A New Hope. So just so many things. I mean, it's the ultimate love letter to, because at this time we didn't think no more Star Wars was happening. Little did we know. But
we thought the brand.
Go figure.
Now there's so much fucking Star Wars.
It's too much. But
nobody would have.
Yeah, no one would have thought we would still have shit happening 20 years later, because we thought it was done. They were sounding like Star Wars is fucking done. And despite what happened 10, 20 years later, this still is like one of the best finales to a part of a franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, this was like our end game. This was like our Return of the King. You know what I'm saying? So just as a finale to a story, it fills you up. It's very fulfilling, and like you said, the performances are fun. Sam Jackson, Hayden Christensen, of course, Christopher Lee, Natalie Portman, just some all-stars. Little wooden at times. Like, it's still a Star Wars prequel. So
it's still a Star Wars prequel, and it has all of the same problems as all three movies do.
Yeah, but those were kind of like diluted a little bit to amp up the spectacle and the conclusion to Anakin's transformation into Darth Vader. But I always have fun going back to this one if I just need a good laugh, or it's the Star Wars movie I'm putting on first if I'm just kicking it, you know. Fair. So I'm gonna go with a very enthusiastic high tune in as well.
Agreed.
All right, Brandon, what were some of your thoughts?
Yeah, man, I absolutely loved rewatching this in theaters. Probably my favorite, because I've been seeing a lot of re-releases lately. Like I saw Princess Mononoke and recently, but like seeing this in theaters felt really special for some reason. Maybe because I haven't seen a Star Wars movie in theaters since Skywalker, but just it still feels good. It feels good to watch a Star Wars movie in the theater. Like I don't know what it is. And like I could have stayed home and put this on TV, but just like I don't know, there was a special feeling being in the audience.
The Force called you.
Exactly. They're all there for the same reason, all hyping and laughing at the same moment.
Did anybody dress up?
Unfortunately not. Maybe if I went like that opening night, I probably would have seen some folks, but I went like Saturday.
Sadly at my screening, no.
Oh, come on, guys, get with it.
I did wear a Star Wars shirt.
That's what matters. That's what matters.
I would wear my Chewbacca.
I would have worn this shirt, but I would have worn this shirt that I have. It's got like
I got hella Star Wars shirts.
But,
I got the Finn jacket in my closet over here.
Brandon brought me like
Oh.
3.
I'm jealous.
Right?
But yeah, no. My final thoughts. Like I love this movie. Like Marco said, it's probably like the most fun I have watching a Star Wars movie. Probably like the easiest like to rewatch, because like with the rest of the Star Wars movies, especially the originals and like even like some of the sequels, like when I put them on, I kind of want to sit down and watch them. But with this, like I can put this on in the background, jump in at certain points and be like, "Ooh, he's saying do it," or he's telling the story.
Yeah, just quoting to you yourself.
Oh, look, he's got it. It's Finn. He'll never be a Jedi.
There you go. Sorry, with Disney's called, we're going with a different direction.
Sorry. Yeah, you don't need that jacket on anymore. You're not a Jedi.
Hey, do I hang out with Rose?
Hey, you're not gonna you're not gonna be a Jedi. Okay, do I at least get with Rey?
Which
No.
Yeah.
You can't have an interracial relationship. You can't have a gay relationship.
Can't have
John Boyega, you deserve better, homie.
Shout out to
deserve
John Boyega. Go watch They Clone Tyrone.
Yes,
very much. Yes.
Hello,
Attack the Block 2 is
get to
coming.
this.
Oh, we didn't even talk about Grievous. Oh my god.
Can we?
Yeah, I love it.
Brandon, give us a little Grievous. Just a little Grievous talk.
Kenobi.
Explain to people why Grievous is actually awesome.
Just watch Gindy's
General
fucking Clone
Kenobi.
Wars and see how sick he is.
He's so cool. He's so fucking badass.
I would highly recommend watching that, like prequels. Like
he is more. Yeah,
like watch that before
if I had
this.
one
and, like,
gripe, it's because I watched I watched Gendy's Clone Wars right before I saw this movie in theaters, and
I
was a little let down with how they portrayed Grievous here.
He's so nerved.
I was a little let down.
Like they fought so many times in Clone Wars, and Grievous usually comes out on top, and here he's just like, man, he's dead.
He's villain like me in this shit, basically.
But he's still cool. He's got.
Look at that 4 arms.
Yep.
Cool. And you know the most terrifying use of lightsabers.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. Like I remember as a kid watching this and going like, all right, like
no,
like
thank
the Darth
you.
Maul lightsaber was already, that double-ended dildo that was already terrifying. Let alone
that was the coolest lightsaber ever. There's 2 of them.
Someone with 4 lightsabers.
What I love is, as scary as Grievous looks, Obi-Wan is a legitimate master, and it's clear the only edge he has is that he's a robot essentially, and can use more than one saber.
Exactly. Like, big thing about Grievous is the whole time, like, he's doing everything he can to please Dooku and the Emperor, but at the end of the day, he's not good enough, like, to be like a legit Sith. You're a robo. But I love this movie. I almost want to say give it a peek, because
I almost said peek.
Just how much fun I had in theaters with it. But yeah, this is, like Marco said, most rewatchable, most enjoyable, most quotable Star Wars probably. And just a big old stamp of my childhood. Like if I never saw this movie, probably wouldn't be as big of a Star Wars fan as I am.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Nick.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with all of you. It's like seeing this on the big screen, because I thought about just putting it up on Disney Plus, rewatching it that way, but I don't know about it. It's because this movie was a movie that I saw opening weekend when I was like 10 years old. This is the movie that I watched with my dad so many years ago, and it's a movie that when it came out on DVD, I rewatched it all the time. I was one of those kids that every time my parents would take me on a trip, I'd always have like the portable DVD player.
Yep.
And I would keep Revenge of the Sith and the Genndy Clone Wars. I would keep those on standby for like long road trips. And even revisiting it now, I'm struck by how just goddamn good this movie is. Which I was, in that camp of talking shit about the Star Wars prequels, and then, sitting down, rewatching them. I stand by everything I have said in the past about Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. I stand by those movies as kind of being, giant slogs to get through. I have none of those complaints with Revenge of the Sith. I think it is, as far as blockbuster filmmaking goes, Lucas, especially with this is one of the best like modern blockbusters. This is, perfectly paced. Every action beat, you feel the weight and drama in all of its characters. You get the best performances out of Hayden Christensen, who I feel got unfairly maligned for Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, because Clones was rough.
Like,
it wasn't his fault.
Clones was rough. I don't think he was as experienced of an actor, and I think that a lot of the problems it stems from a lot of George Lucas's shortcomings as a screenwriter. We said it before. He's not the best at writing dialogue. He's not the best at letting his audience, come to conclusions themselves. But I feel like with this movie, this is purely just inspired filmmaking. And for a movie that's 20 years old, you could put this up there VFX wise with most blockbusters today, and this clears them.
Yeah. I agree.
How much I love this. Just loved being in the theater with the crowd, seeing it again. And clearly audiences are loving it too. This made bank on its
it almost made $1 billion.
It's like the biggest re-release, right?
It's at 900 million right now.
Damn.
That is absurd. And
y'all think Disney will stop making Star Wars stuff?
Oh hell no!
Right? Exactly,
like this is why they don't stop. You do this.
It makes them money.
10, 11, 12, just greenlit.
Yeah,
but
seriously,
this is just a great blockbuster outside of all of the Star Wars lore that you get, and perfectly as messy as prequel filmmaking in general can be, they kind of tied it up with a neat little bow at the end of this.
It's a very
you could very easily just go right into watching Rogue One or A New Hope after watching this movie, which what time?
I did that.
Shit, I got time. Fuck it, I got time. I'll rewatch those movies. Those movies rule. But if I had to give a rating for Revenge of the Sith 20 years later, this is still one of my favorite movies to put on. I'd give this a solid B. I don't think this is a perfect movie. I would never say that this is.
But it's your enjoyment. It's your enjoyment.
It's entertaining.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah,
exactly. This is one of my favorite Star Wars movies. I always put it like I put Rogue One, Empire, A New Hope, and Revenge of the Sith.
I can dig it.
That's a good one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I would have to agree. Yeah, those movies, not in the same order, but those are like the ones.
Yeah, I agree.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, but that's our review for Revenge of the Sith. It was like, I'm amazed how well it held up 20 years later.
Man, the fact that we could still talk about shit we didn't even get to cover proves that we could just go all day.